Hello and welcome back to another episode of Generation Films. My name is American Ben. Guess what? We finally made it to the last episode of our Strongest Alien series. The next episode will be the results show. This is it. No, seriously, there's no more. So if you think it's gonna be just another one of those things where I'm like, oh, guess what? The Strongest Alien series is continuing. It's not. This is it. Kiss it goodbye. I don't know, I'm still talking. We should start the video. Often in modern culture, we lament movies like The Great Wall or The Last Samurai. Why? Because it's no longer acceptable in our culture to have white savior films. As in movies in which some white guy inserts himself into a non-white story and saves everyone. In Tom Cruise's case, not only did he decide that he would be a samurai, but that he'd be the very last one. It might not be the most PC thing to say, but I don't think savior films are that bad as long as they're not too egregious. The Great Wall, though, that was unacceptable, because I'm opposed to Matt Damon savior movies. We don't need you to save us, Matt Damon. Anyway, the point here is that everyone always talks about the problems with white savior films, but no one ever talks about the problems with robot savior films. Robots, especially alien robots, are a danger to us all. We don't need to rewrite history to show giant sentient robots saving humanity. That's propaganda and is human washing, and is exactly why I have a problem with the entire Transformers franchise. It's based on a lie. Nonetheless, I'm glad a bunch of you asked for the Transformers to be included in this series, because they're perhaps the most different from the rest of the aliens in this group, in both size and makeup. They're totally robots, but 100% aliens. So today we are going to cover their flaws and strengths. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Let's start with the advantages. For starters, Transformers are often gigantic. Other alien armies do have large robot constructs in their ranks, but the Transformers themselves are the massive constructs. They tower over everything and everyone. And then on top of their gigantic average size, there are Titans that can transform into cities, and even Transformers that can transform into planets, like Unicron. Transformers are not lacking in smaller sized forms when needed either. While the massive bots generally lead their armies, there are Transformers that are much smaller as well. Both robots and aliens have their advantages. Aliens are often sentient and capable of large-scale conquest, while robots often are capable of inflicting heavy damage and taking little back themselves. Transformers, however, are the best of both worlds, as the material that makes up their composition is a living metal with a self-replicating cellular structure and genetic code. On one hand, this metal affords Transformers the exceptional resistance to damage one would expect of a robot. And on the other, it's malleable and adaptable, and its metallic cells can even regenerate to heal damage that it does sustain. Perhaps best of all, they can just have their parts replaced when needed, rather than worry about deterioration. Of course, we probably shouldn't go any further without pointing out that Transformers can, well, transform, a trait that makes them unique among alien races. A complex mechanical organ known as a transformation cog allows Cybertronians to change shape at will, but they're not just any old shapeshifters. They can completely transform into different objects with the full abilities of that object, whether a Mack truck or a sports car. An extension of this transformation is some Transformers' additional ability to merge with organic life and thus take on the form of such life when necessary, thereby disguising themselves as living creatures and adopting all abilities that come with such creatures. Transformation allows Transformers to completely blend into their environments and go unnoticed for as long as necessary, as they did for ages while hiding out on Earth. When humans make the mocking joke, "I identify as an attack helicopter," Transformers take it seriously. Another extension of the transformation ability is some Transformers' ability to unite with another Transformer or Transformers. Such Transformers are known as combiners. This process results in a new Transformer with the powers of all Transformers in the merger, and sometimes new weaponry as well. These super robots usually only have 2 Transformers in the merger, but have been known to have up to 6 in the mix. Most alien races with so-called built-in weapons are usually feral aliens with anatomical weapons, but Transformers are sentient, of high intelligence, and yet at the same time feature built-in anatomical robotic weapons. Most Transformers are outfitted with a host of weapons and accessories that are at their disposal at all times. They have cannons, long and short-range weapons, and even melee weapons. Their guns fire all sorts of projectiles, from bullets to laser bolts, and take a variety of different forms. And of course, because these weapons are just natural extensions of a Transformer's body, they are stored and carried easily, and using them is second nature. Given that they are kind of tech themselves, Cybertronian technology is highly advanced, keeping pace with some of the most powerful alien races. Transformer starships are capable of master FTL travel, but the Transformers also have space bridge technology which allows travelers to instantly warp billions of light years, so ships with FTL drives are not even that necessary to the Cybertronians. Transformers also have all sorts of AI at their disposal. I suppose dominating non-sentient alien robots allows Transformers to punch down at the real robots. Cybertronian tech is to no small degree a product of the high level of education that they have or had access to. They are well trained in the sciences. That said, Transformer tech has stagnated for millions of years. But a couple points before you say disadvantage. 1, millions of years isn't too long of a time frame for Transformers, and 2, their stagnation is largely due to their technology already being so far superior to anything else in the known universe. I mean, Transformers are nearly invincible, so there's little reason to keep innovating at the pace they once did. Perhaps as humans catch up, Transformers will focus back on their own technological developments again. This isn't a situation as with, say, the Covenant, where the alien race at hand is just not capable of creativity or innovation. As a matter of fact, as 40K shows us, sometimes it can be good for an already far advanced species to slow down its innovations a bit in order to gain mastery over the advanced tech they already have. As we've already hinted at, Transformers live very long natural lives. Again, Transformers boast the best of both worlds when it comes to robots and sentient life. They're very much alive, but as mechanical beings they can live for millions of years, perhaps even billions. They can simply replace worn-out parts over and over again as needed. They do age and suffer the effects of aging, but only over incredibly long periods of time. Death in war is far more common for a Transformer than a natural death. They're pretty much on the border between immortal and not. It's hard to say. They're kind of like Jimmy Carter. Those that argue that Transformers are not immortal would say that they're not unkillable. Transformers do die. It's not easy to end a Transformer's life, but it can be done with a powerful enough attack, one that decimates the Transformer beyond repair. They can also be felled by disease and poison. Simply said, a Transformer dies when its spark is extinguished. So then what is the argument in favor of them being immortal? Well, a Transformer's spark is what separates it from other machines and makes it a sentient alien. The spark is a mystical life force that can be thought of as a Transformer's soul. And what's important about the spark is that it's the Transformer's entire being, and as such, it can be extracted from its mechanical body and placed in another one. So yes, Cybertronians can transfer consciousness, but this alone doesn't make them immortal. However, when a Transformer's spark is extinguished, it returns to a metaphysical dimension connected to all Transformers known as the Afterspark or the Allspark, not to be confused with the actual object, the Allspark. This afterlife is not always the end for a Transformer, as it's possible for their spark to re-enter the physical world and be transferred into a new body. Thus, no matter how absolutely a Transformer has been destroyed, there's no guarantee that it's dead. Okay, so what flaws do the Transformers have? Well, aside from having to listen to Shia LaBeouf rant about how he got into the mind of a penguin by spending 3 years mating with them in the Arctic for the animated movie Surf's Up, they have some others as well. First, while Transformers don't require all sorts of different resources to survive, they don't need oxygen or food for instance, they do require fuel. And they consume a lot of fuel. And if fuel was abundant, this wouldn't be an issue. But instead, the Transformers' finite fuel resources have led to many wars during the course of their existence. Furthermore, Transformers have attempted to find alternate fuel sources at times, but such fuel sources often lead to negative side effects. So altogether, Transformers are both fuel dependent and fuel inefficient. They are the Hummers of the alien world. The one upside of Transformer reproduction is that it is a controlled process that doesn't require intercourse between two loving Cybertronians. Unfortunately for the makers of WD-40, from what we know, Transformers do not have sex. Instead of robot penetration, there are a variety of ways that Transformers are born. For instance, there's the process of budding, by which bubbles of liquid metal form on a Transformer's chest and intensify until a mass of liquid metal and energy burst free and solidify into a new Transformer. Then there's the process of infusion, by which a spark delivered from the Allspark is implanted into a constructed mechanical body. And then there's also plain old mechanical construction, by which a robot body is built and then somehow comes to life, spark and all. The point is, Hasbro needs to get their crappy continuity together. Wait, that's not the point. The point is that while there's all these methods of reproduction, none of them seem that efficient. At least not enough for the Cybertronians to boast armies the size of other alien races. They cannot produce masses quickly. Finally, as we all well know, Transformers have been in a constant state of civil war for the bulk of their existence. The Decepticons want to launch an imperialist empire, and the Autobots want to be all peace and love and stuff. The result is that neither side can really reach its potential. Together, Autobots and Decepticons make up a race of nearly invincible giant robot aliens with no equal in the known universe. But when split, they cause each other serious problems and pose an existential threat to each other. With their high level of intelligence, who knows how far Transformers could have developed by now had they not spent millions of years fighting each other. Instead, they've long remained a stagnant species. Okay, my friends, it's time to rate the Transformers on a scale of 1 to 5. Please click somewhere up there in order to do so. And remember, next episode will be the results show. You don't want to miss that. You want to see who came in last, who came in first, and who were the blahs in the middle. Remember, as always, to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Definitely click that like button if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought of this series and what you think of the Transformers. For now, my name is American Ben, and I'll catch you next time. Generation Films, peace.